What is going on, my beautiful people, man? Hope you guys are doing amazing. Today in this video, what we're basically going to be talking about is being able to rewire our neural pathways and the power of God to help us do this. Now you're like, what the hell is a neural pathway? What the hell is this Mojo Jojo that I'm talking about? What a neural pathway is basically something in your mind that is going to be wired to fire a certain way. Now, this is something that basically, let me give you all an example here. So it's like Steph Curry. When Steph Curry's practicing, he's practicing moves over and over and over again, so that when he goes into the game, the neural pathways have already been fired so much that they're wired to be able to allow him to just go out on the court, turn his mind off, and just be able to play, because they've been rewired so much into that. Now, there's a lot that I'm getting into with this, man, and I really want to talk to y'all about this because it's literally insane for anything that y'all want to do and for the power of the subconscious mind. So we gonna chat it up about this right now, man. So the way that it gets into a deeper layer with this is when we get into visualization. Now, visualization is something I'm getting into, and I think it's absolutely freaking bonkers. I'm not talking about manifestation, Mojo Jojo, not none of that stuff. No, that's kind of no. But what I am talking about is being able to visualize in a way of practicing and getting reps in, and also being able to feel our anxiety, feel our stresses, and being able to prepare ourselves for that. So in terms of rewiring our brain and stuff like that, there's a lot that I'm learning about this that I think is absolutely just freaking bonkers. Like being able to rewire it with God is something where Steph Curry talks about visualization, and he says that he'll visualize what he's going to do on the court. And there's been a lot of studies that have come out that have said that, okay, you can practice piano physically, but also people that mentally visualize themselves practicing piano for the same amount of time a day had the same amount of improvements as the other people. That's insane. So being able to practice, oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm burping right now. I'm real sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But being able to practice that, like the visualization and being able to do that stuff, is freaking incredible, is amazing, and it's powerful when we know how to use it and when we know when we can use it. So with God, what we can actually do is rewire our neural pathways into God. So there's a lot of times where we're feeling anxious, nervous, self-conscious, when we're feeling like we don't have enough, when we're feeling like we're not enough. But the power of God and the Bible is that it can rewire, just like God says, it's renewing our mind. It's rewiring our mind into God and into Scripture, and allowing ourselves to be empowered by those beliefs versus the beliefs that we are not enough, that we don't have enough, that we can't do something. So anytime that you really want to, or anytime you feel like, sometimes you're feeling self-conscious, sometimes you're feeling like you are not enough, or you don't have enough, or this and that, what you can do is find Scripture and rewire that. All you have to do is continually say to yourself, okay, this is something that I'm dealing with right now, but I would rather have it in God. Okay, I'm feeling self-conscious about myself, feeling self-conscious about how I look. So you can have a scripture, "In the Lord shall be thy confidence." That is powerful to rewire that over and over. The more that you say it to yourself on a day-to-day basis. And I felt this for myself, because sometimes we forget. But when we look back, I see how much I've been very self-conscious in the past. But I started to rewire it in being able to fire that into God and into that verse simply anytime I start to feel self-conscious. And it's able to have that power over that. That is what we are going for. Now that goes for anything that you're dealing with, man. Literally anything. If you're feeling like you can't do something, you can't go do that super ambitious thing that you want to do out there in the world, you can rewire it into God. But not just this. If you're feeling that, okay, let's say that here's an example. Let's say you are feeling a little bit self-conscious and it's a little bit hard. You get anxious when you start worrying about yourself or anything like that. For me, one of the things that was hard is I would feel that and I would say that and I would start to wire that. But it was like, it took more rewiring. I needed more of the rewiring and the practice with just giving it to God. Because when you're in the moment, it's a little bit tough, because like people are going to be there, it's going to be whatever. And you don't want, sometimes you're trying to talk with somebody and it's hard to be talking while you're also saying that in your head. But what you can do is go into visualization, like go into your bathtub, start visualizing that place where you might feel a little bit uncomfortable. And when you feel that, imagine yourself putting it into God, literally just allowing yourself to say, "For the Lord shall be thy confidence, for the Lord shall be thy confidence," and visualizing that. Feel the anxiety and feel yourself giving it up to God and putting yourself into that verse. That is how you're going to continue to rewire it. And that goes for anything that we're doing, man. Rewiring our brain is what we are literally doing. The neural pathways can get reworked into God. If you feel anything, you feel insecure, you feel nervous, you feel anxious, you can rewire it into strength through God. But it's also just for things like sometimes you just don't believe in yourself. Sometimes you genuinely don't believe in yourself, or you don't think that you could do something. But if you can visualize yourself doing it and getting over the uncomfortable feeling of like, oh, I don't like, that feels a little bit uncomfortable, that feels a little bit embarrassing, and you can just continue to do that and rewire your brain into knowing, okay, I want to have it. Like, what if it went perfectly? What if everybody loved it? What if everything went perfectly? I did everything perfectly, and I was confident in everything about me, my smile, how I look, how everything went, and you know, I was just fully with God in that moment. How would that look? And you continue to wire that in and in and in, again and again and again. Eventually your brain starts to be able to just automatically get you into that when you're going into your situation next time. So continue to do that, man. It's literally one of the most powerful things I've ever realized. Even a professional tennis player, I forgot his name, but he's one of the top, I think he's like the best tennis player of all time. He said that visualization and this kind of stuff that we're talking about here was literally the most important part of him having a big comeback after he didn't win no titles in 2018. He had a big comeback, and he said that this is one of the most important things. So let's continue to go into this, man. This is powerful for us. Love you guys very much. Talk to you on the next video. Peace.